I was working in New York City in the garment industry. And then, I guess I had switched over to the cosmetics. And I was riding the subways in New York. And there was an incident, I won't go through the whole thing, but there was an incident in there that just turned me off totally. And I said, I got to get out of here. And somebody had said, piqued my ego one day and said, gee, you got a nice voice, why don't you go in the radio? So while I was working during the day, I went to school at night. I was living at home, not married. I went to radio school at night. And the job came in for some place down in Bennettsville, South Carolina, 10,000 watt station. There were probably about 5,000 people in town that had a 10,000 watt station that fed the ocean because it wasn't that far from
Sure.
on 301. So that's how I got into radio. I was down there for not quite a year, and this was back in 51, 52, I guess, and I was afraid I was going to get into trouble with a big mouth and the black toilet and white toilet and black seating and white seating. Let me out of here, Saw an ad, and this is another cute story. Saw an ad in broadcasting, and the manager, station manager, and myself were both looking to leave, and we were good friends. We'd go to dinner all the time, lunch, So it wasn't a matter of don't tell anybody I'm looking for a job, I set a tape up here, answering an ad for Utica, New York. I didn't know where it was, but I figured, I'll get back to New York State, be a little safer. Set a tape to Betty, got the tape back, happily, saying, I'm sorry, but it isn't quite the voice quality we wanted. And I said, Edward R. Murrow, I'm not, but that something doesn't sound right. So I put the tape back on the machine that I recorded on, and that machine had been running a little bit slow. So when she heard it on the right speed, it wasn't a Donald Duck type thing, but it was higher than I can understand. Back then everybody had to be down in the basement, their voices. So I called her up and said I'd like to redo it. I told her what happened, so I sent the tape back, leaving part of it recorded the way it was in the beginning and re-recording the first part so she could hear hopefully the right quality. About 2 weeks later, I get a phone call. She said, are you still interested? I said, sure. Well, it didn't work out with the person that we had hired. Okay, too bad, I'll be up. We set a date, and I came up. A fellow by the name of Dick Richard Seary. I don't know, he was one of the guys that was very big in Betty's Youth Presents. But anyway, he was breaking me in that Sunday morning on Louis K. Biankowski's Polish program. And he told me that the fellow that was there previously, who had just been hired, sat in for the 2 hours, went out to lunch, and never came back. So, because of him never coming back, my whole life was changed,